Namaste children. Since so many days we have been in lockdown, and before the holidays we have completed few chapters, and even in lockdown also we have tried to discuss the ray optics chapter, and ray optics chapter revision also almost completed. What I have planned is we do revision regularly, but it is better to start the new chapter. So that's why I decided to start the new chapter, nucleus. Now, the previous classes we have learned about atoms. I think you all remember spectrum we learned, and after discussing the spectrum we have discussed the Rutherford alpha ray scattering experiment and then Bohr's model, and we have seen how Bohr successfully explained the spectrum of hydrogen atom. And with the chapter we have accepted that atom consists a structure. Can you recollect how does the atoms look like? If you have seen the Rutherford atomic model, that model is called as planetary model. Planetary model. Why it is called as planetary model? Why? Because he discovered the nucleus which is present at the center of an atom, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. But that model also some defects. Moving charge particles should lose the energy, and it should consist of continuous it should emit continuous spectrum. We have seen that that's not happening with the atom. So some more modifications have done in the atomic structure. Successfully, Niels Bohr has given a picture, nuclear model picture, which rectified the defects of Rutherford model. Bohr said like this: nucleus is present at the center of the atom, and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. This is almost similar to the Rutherford model, but in addition to that, he added some points based on Planck's quantum theory. What is that? As long as electron revolves in that orbit, the energy of that electron will remain constant. It neither loses the energy, it nor gains the energy. But when the energy emissions absorptions takes place, when electron jumps from one orbit to another orbit, and the angular moment of electron, he proved correctly that MBR is equals to NH by 2 pi. And we have seen, based on these postulates, successfully he explained the spectrum of hydrogen atom. So electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Atom is very, 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 very small one. But surprising thing is, now we are going to see something smaller than that. Imagine the atom is of this glass size, or else a football ground size. Then nucleus, which is present at the center of the atom, is almost of small football that controls the entire size of the atom. If you consider your classroom as an atom, your pen tip will be the size of the nucleus. How small that particular nucleus is. The size of the nucleus is very small when compared with the atom. At the same time, this nucleus is only responsible for the entire mass of the atom. 99.9% of the mass of the atom concentrated in the nucleus only. Yes, nucleus influencing the entire atom properties. Nucleus is the responsible holding the electrons firmly, and nucleus is having the total mass in it. Now the question comes, how? What is present inside the nucleus? These points, all the things we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. We are going to discuss about its size, its mass, and its properties and related to things, fission, fusion, radioactivity, all these we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. The today's class we are concentrating on only one topic, that is mass of the nucleus. So today what we are going to discuss? Mass of the nucleus. As now I said, the entire mass of the atom depends on mass of the nucleus. Most of the mass is concentrated in the nucleus. Now if you have taken the nucleus of means mass of the carbon atom, the mass of the carbon atom calculated like this. That is 1.99267 into 10 power minus 26 kg. It is very small, and it is not good for us to decide the masses of the nucleus and mass of the atom in terms of kgs. Generally, when we purchase the gold, will you ask for the gold to give 100 kgs, 10 kgs or 1 kg gold? You cannot purchase the gold in terms of kgs. There we'll ask in terms of grams, 5 grams, 10 grams, like that. So here the situation has been changed. Now atoms and the nucleuses are very small. Now we are not going to measure the mass in terms of kg. It's very big unit. Now it is better to measure with a new unit. What I am doing is, as this consists of atomic mass 12, I am going to divide this one as with 12. 1/12 of carbon atomic mass. Then you will get 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. This mass I am going to call as 1 AMU. In short, I am going to call it as U. So from now onwards, mass of the nucleus will be measured with the unit U. Unit of mass or atomic mass unit. What is its value? How it came? It is nothing but 1/12 of the carbon atomic mass. So most of the mass of the nucleus or atomic masses, if you find, you will find it is integral multiples of this, approximately this value. Approximately integral 7 times, 8 times, like that. But whereas if you have seen for the chlorine, you will see that chlorine is 35.563. It's not integral, integer. It is about ratio, fraction. How it come like that? Now, to answer this, we need to understand something different concept, that is, scientists have discovered isotopes. Isotopes, in Latin, its meaning is same place. Many elements are having the isotopes. What is isotope? Isotope is having the same atomic mass, same atomic number, but different atomic masses. Same atomic number but different atomic masses. Means those elements you have to put at same places in the periodic table. In modern periodic table, we arrange that elements along with, according to their atomic numbers. So you need to place that particular element. Suppose if you have taken the chlorine, you have to put it in the place of 17th place. But chlorines, two different isotopes are there with different atomic masses. Those two I need to put at same place. So that's why the name is given as isotopes. What are isotopes? which are having the same atomic number but different mass numbers, different atomic masses. And these isotopes are not approximately, they have mixing up the same value. They are abundant relatively. Some are high, some are low. Suppose if you have seen that hydrogen is having 3 isotopes. Isotope hydrogen is having 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. Hydrogen is almost 99.99% abundant. That much of quantity is there, and deuterium is less abundant, and 1H3 tritium is produced artificially, and it is relatively very unstable, so it exists very less amount of time. This one is produced artificially. Now we have seen that all the atomic numbers are same, all the hydrogens, but what about the mass numbers? Here 1, 2, 3. That's why these 3 are called as isotopes. Now I am giving the mean atomic mass basing on the isotopes and their relative abundances. Now this is a problem, mostly comes in the examinations. Please concentrate. We are going to find out the mean atomic mass of a particular element depending upon their isotopes and their relative abundance. Now let me come back to chlorine only. I said how this particular 35.56 has come, because chlorine has 2 isotopes. Now let me discuss about the chlorine. Now let me discuss the chlorine isotopes. Chlorine atomic number is 17, and one isotope, it is having that mass number is 34.98 atomic mass unit, 34.98, and it is about relative abundance is 75.4%. Now another isotope, this I am going to call it as 17Cl35. Now another one, 17Cl37. Its approximate atomic mass is 36.98 atomic mass unit, and it is about 24.6%. 2 isotopes, 17Cl37, 17Cl35, atomic numbers are same but mass numbers are different. That's why I call this isotopes. This isotope mass is 34.98, and what is its relative abundance? 75.4%. Now chlorine 37. This is another isotope whose atomic mass is 36.98 U atomic mass unit, and its relative abundance is 24.6%. So this is about this much, this is about this much. Now we need to give the mean atomic mass value. Now I will make a formula so that we can remember. I am going to call this one as M1, M2, X and Y. Now the formula of atomic mass is equals to M1 X plus M2 Y by X plus Y. You can see that what I have done, I multiplied the atomic mass with the percentage plus multiplied this one with the percentage by these two. You can get this two is 100 only. So now substitute the values. 34.98 U, Y U here, 34.98, 75.4 plus 36.98 into 24.6 by 75.4 plus 24.6. So multiply this and multiply this, add and divide, and here you will get 100. So the calculations will be easy. Now you will get approximately 35.54. So this is nothing but the chlorine average atomic mass that already we have seen. So like this, we need to calculate the relative atomic mass. So in the question, whatever the isotopes are given, what we need to find it out is write their isotope, their mass and the relative abundances in percentages. Next isotope, their mass and relative abundance. If any are there, that all you have to write and write the formula. Here, if three different isotopes are there, then you have to use M1, M2, M3 and percentages X, Y, Z. Then the formula will become M1 X plus M2Y by X plus Y. If three are there, M1 X plus M2Y plus M3 Z by X plus Y plus Z. So this is the simple question that we have been discussed and three problems we are going to see now. So in your exercise, the first three problems we are going to discuss. So in that first exercise, what we have seen is that particular question given like this. Lithium isotopes are given. I'll note down the values. The lithium isotope is given in the question 3Li6 and its atomic mass is given as 6.0515124 and its abundance is 7.5%. And the next one, the next isotope is lithium 7 and its atomic mass is 7.01600 and its relative abundance is 92.5%. And we need to calculate its mean average mass. Like chlorine, just now we have done, no? Isotopes are given and their concerned atomic masses are given and the relative abundances in percentages are given. Now what is the best method? Standard method is keep the masses here. This one is M1, this one is M2 and call this one as X and this one as Y. And what will be the formula? M1X means multiplying these two plus M2Y by M1 plus M2. Substitute 6.015124 into 7.5. These two I multiplied plus 7.01600 into 92.5 by 7.5 plus 92.5. Now when you multiply these two, you have to do this calculations in rough. You should be speed enough to calculate the calculations. There is no shortcut, but you should be perfect in doing the calculations. 20, 12, 1, 505, 6, 25, 2, 505, 7, 0, 30 and 7 4 28, 2, 14, 16, 1, 8, 35, 3, 7, 7, 10, 1, 7, 6, 42. Now 0, 10, 1, 13, 1, 14, 1, 13, 1, 1, 5, 4 and 4. 5 4s are 20, 2 5 2s are 10, 12, 1 5 1s are 5, 6 5 5s are 25, 2 5 6 are 30, 7 4s are 28, 2 7 2s are 14, 16, 1 7 1s are 7, 8, 7 5s are 35, 3 7 6 are 42, 0 0 1 14, 1 6 8, 3 5 4. Here 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I got here 45.3843 and I'll do the next one also. 7.016 into 92.5. 5 6 33, 8 0 35, 2 6 12, 32, 0 14 1, 9 6 54, 5 9 1 5, 14 1, 9 7 63, 0 0 1 8 9 8 4 6 3 4 by 100. So when I add these two, 648.98, 48.3843, then 3, 4, 16, 1, 13, 1, 9 plus 5, 14, 1. I got 694.3643 by 100. Then the answer will be 6.943643 U is the average atomic mass of the lithium. So calculation part is little bit difficult, but if you practice a lot, then you can save a lot of time. And here what is the formula we have seen? M1x in plus M2y by x plus y. Next question also we are going to see in the same manner. The same question also. Second exercise question. In the second question, we see the boron isotope. Boron isotope, its atomic mass value is 10.01294 U, and we don't know how much it is. I'm calling it as X percentage. And boron 511 is given as 11.00931 U, and I don't know how much percentage it is Y. And mean atomic mass of boron is given, it is 10.811 U. Now you need to find out X is to Y. Now what I am going to call, these are the isotopes, and these are the atomic masses, and this is the abundance. What is the simplest way? M1, and this one I am calling it as X. M2, this one I am calling it as Y. And the atomic mass, this is given as A. What is the formula of atomic mass? M1x plus M2y by x plus y. Generally x plus y, if we add, we are getting 100. So x plus y you can take this 100. 10.811 is equals to 10.01294 into x plus 11.00931 into y by x plus y. Instead of separately, I have taken it as 100. Why? Because sum of these two is 100. Now cross multiply, how much you will get? 10811 means multiplying two zeros means this point will come here, and 94x plus, okay, it is better to keep xy as it is only. Keep xy as it is only, it would be better for us. Take towards that side, then you will get 10.811x plus 10.811y is equals to 10.01294x plus 11.00931y. Now you take this one to that side and bring the y term to this side. Then what you are going to get? 10.811x minus 10.01294x is equals to 11.00931y minus 10.811y. Now simplify it. Make it a habit to do the calculations part by your own, and we don't have any option, we cannot use the calculator. So speed calculations is very, very important. So here I am going to take it as 10 minus 4, 6, 9 minus 9, 0. Here 9, 0 will be there, 8, 0. I brought it this one, 10 minus 1, 9, 7. 10, 10, 11, 11, 8. Good. And this one is 0. 0.79806x is equals to, do a calculation this one, 11.00931, 10.81100, I got 0.19831y. Now take toward y toward this one and this one this side. Then I'll get x is to y is equals to, or x by y is equals to 0.19831 by 0.79806. This is what. Now we got in the ratio. Now if you want to get into the percentages, it's abundance percentages, then abundance of x you can calculate like this: x by x plus y into 100, we will get the x percentage, and abundance of y we will get x y by y plus into 100 is equals to y percentage. So this calculation also we need to do. And next problem is there, third exercise problem. I am giving it that problem to you as homework. There 3 isotopes are given with 3 abundant atomic masses and 3 abundances. So what is the formula you have to use is m1x plus m2y plus m3z by x plus y plus z. Here calculation part is little difficult, but we should be speed enough to calculate the calculations so that we can get the answer very quickly. I hope so that in this chapter, in this topic, what we have learned. So we have seen the introduction of the nucleus chapter. Nucleus is very small, and in this chapter we are going to see the size and atomic about what are the constituents it consists of, and nuclear fission, nuclear fusion, all those things we are going to discuss in this particular chapter. In this topic, what we have learned, atomic mass of the nucleus basing on the relative abundance of the isotopes, and we have calculated mean average mass of the nucleus basing on the percentage of the values given in the question. Okay, and do this particular problem calculation part, and third problem also I am giving to you homework. Thank you.